A deal on Dickens, who could resist? A stack of Austen, warmly kissed. Golden Age crime tales twist and turn, every page a treasure to learn. Books keep coming home with me, piles so tall they're all I see. Turn a page and sail the sea, reading always feels so free.
Hi, my name is Talia. Welcome to Talia Nerds Out. Just have another book haul to do. I covered some of it in a different video that was actually a dual review video, but I wanted to just finish up my history book haul just so I can put some of the stuff away. Now, I will get out of the way one of the books that's not really a history book haul, just sort of landed in here. This is, I believe I got this as a free book credit, Brain Surgery and Doctors Inspiring Encounters with Morality and Miracles. And this falls in the same vein as the other one that I read. Do I have it here? So, okay, this is going to be a book review. I'll do the book haul afterwards. So, this looks like it's going to be very similar in style to this one, which is Gray Matter. This is also about a neurosurgeon and about, this one deals more with prayer. This one says mortality and miracles. So it sounds like it's about in the same vein, but I'm not sure where this will end up differing. This is by Keith Black, MD. Gray Matter is by David I. Levy, MD. I started this book before my second neurosurgery. I had this strange idea that I would somehow get all this reading and all this knitting done after my second neurosurgery. To be fair, after my first one, the spinal fusion back here, I got myself moving and out of bed as quickly as I could. I knew that moving was a great way to prevent blood clots, and I just wanted to get myself moving, get myself out. And so I was able to sit up a lot more after that surgery. I had pain, but I didn't use my pain pump at all. I'd seen enough in the way that addiction can affect people because I worked ICU at that point. And even before that, I had worked in just various areas of nursing. I had been a nurse for about 8 years at that point. So, actually probably closer to 10 years at that point. 8 or 10 years, I can't remember. It was almost 10 years. So, for that first surgery, and so I was like, did everything the way I wanted to, is perfect. So I was like, okay, I was able to knit and read that time. Let me just go ahead and plan. I'll have my Easy Sock project started up, and I will bring a few books, including this one. I think this was the main physical book I brought. I might have done everything else Kindle. I did none of those things that surgery because it was in my lower spine that time, and it was a completely different surgery. I had to be flat on my back for days instead of being able to leave a couple days after, and for most of that time being able to walk. For the second surgery, I was there for several days, and most of the time I was flat and in an incredible amount of pain. And plus I was having near constant migraines. So this did not get read, and it's been not touched for probably about 2-ish years. But it was mentioned briefly on the Book Zealots channel by Arion. And it was like, oh yeah, I remember that book. I never finished it. And I would see it every once in a while on my shelf when I was looking for something else. I'd be like, oh, I'll finish that eventually. Well, I sat down, refreshed my memory a bit by flipping through, because I had gotten about halfway through, actually farther than I realized. And then I just plowed my way through the rest of it. And there's a lot of touching stuff in here. It goes through things like overcoming the self-consciousness of, after you kind of get a feel for the patient and their family, putting yourself out there and asking, hey, do you want me as your surgeon to pray with you during this time? And some people said no, and he was okay with that. And he mentioned that just the different things that he would notice benefits of just peace, both for him and for the patients, with him when he started doing this. And also he noticed that his coworkers, some of the nurses would say, hey, let us know when you're doing that so we can join you. And there'd be people in his surgery team who'd be like, hey, we were supposed to pray right before we got started. You forgot that, in his normal checklist of things. So it was just, and these are people who weren't necessarily always religious, but this was important to them too. It was just it was interesting to see from his point of view, as well as from a patient's point of view, because I've been on both sides of the bed, both as a nurse and as a patient. So I have, on occasion in the past, gotten a feeling for a room and for how a patient felt, and asked if a patient wanted to have prayers. I have a specific memory where a patient was very anxious. I don't remember. I think she wasn't even necessarily having a full-on surgery. I think she might have been having just a procedure where she needed to be under, but she was just really kind of scared. She was an older patient. And for her, I was able to get a feeling that she wanted to be prayed with. And so that was an opportunity I was able to take. And it is hard to, kind of step out of your comfort zone and offer that. I also have been the patient who has had their surgeon offer to pray with them. My neurosurgeon offers that to all of his patients if they want it. This is not my neurosurgeon, but my neurosurgeon does that as well, which I found to be a blessing. And I had more nerves the second time around when I went into my second surgery. And actually, I had nerves in different ways. I don't remember a whole lot of my pre-op stuff before, headed into my first surgery. But for my second surgery, I remember a lot more of it. And I actually kind of remember being a lot more nervous in a different kind of way. Even though you would have thought that maybe I would be less so because I'd already had surgery for the first time, 2 years before that. But anyway, so I just really enjoyed hearing his perspective just from several different personal, from a personal place and from a formerly professional place, because I no longer am. If you're new to my channel, I no longer am a nurse. I am not physically capable of working any longer. I'm pretty much homebound. But I did enjoy this book. This is a quick read. This is an easy read. It does get emotional at times. Now, to be honest, I am also more inclined to being emotional when I read, since all my different medical stuff has occurred just the way I'm affected neurologically now. But I would recommend this book just in general. But yeah, that's just not a review I was planning to do. I'm guessing that this book is going to be similar, but I really have no idea. But this was another one that Ariane recommended. So I was like, I have a free book credit. Let me snag it. And I mean, it should, I'm guessing, be very similar. So if you got anything out of that, great. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you again next time. God bless.
Books keep coming home with me, piles so tall they're all I see. Turn a page and sail the sea. Reading always feels so free.